Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saaghe Fogwe podcast. I'm so happy you're here today. It's going to be a rich show. It'll be a wonderful one and special, like every other show. But this one is super special today because we're gonna learn a lot from this show today. So I have someone in the studio today. He's a friend. He's a father. He's a dad. He's an executive coach. Oh my goodness. The accolades are so many. I could keep going on, but I'm going to let him, introduce himself here in a little bit. But we're going to hear a great story today. We'll hear a story of someone who went from being a dishwasher to now what he does. He coaches people, he mentors people. He's an inspiration to a lot of people. Welcome, Mr. Keith Shaw.
Thank you, Sahi. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to talking to you today.
Awesome, awesome. So before we go into the show, just some people might know you on your platform. Others on my platform might not know you, and I had been on yours, so I had shared a little bit. They might not remember back then. So go ahead and introduce yourself to people. Let people know who you are, where you come from, family, education, those things. Just the things that you want people to know about you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Keith Shaw. I'm a speaker, coach, and trainer. I come from Wichita, Kansas. That's where I was born and raised. I live here in Dallas, Texas. I've been here in Dallas, Texas for 26 plus years. And in addition to speaking, coaching, and training, that's kind of what I do today. I have a business where I go to companies and speak and help them understand how to become better leaders. I coach their leaders and managers to help them understand how to treat people and to help them be more effective. But before that, I have worked in aerospace, defense, and security for 35 years. I started as a dishwasher, making $3.35 an hour.
$3.
Back in 1979.
Oh wow.
I learned a lot from that. I learned that I want to do something else with my life other than work that hard as a dishwasher. And through mentorship up from other people, from coaching from other people, and from personal development, I learned how to develop skills that helped me create a better life for myself and to have a better career and work my way from a dishwasher to a director for Fortune 500 companies. In addition to accomplishing that myself, I took note of the things I learned from the people that I was able to be mentored by, and I took note of those things, and I actually helped other people do the same thing. So those positive lessons I learned from CEOs and managers and high potentials at the Fortune 500 companies that I've worked for the last 35 years, I took the positive things that they taught me and that I observed from them. And I also took the negative things that I saw in them that people should not do to prevent them from advancing. And I've coached and trained other people to help them experience extraordinary success in their lives and careers as well. And I've recently retired from aerospace, defense, and security.
We loosely use that term.
I will always be hustling in some way. I won't be sitting on my hands. But I'm happy to say that what I will continue to do for all of the days that God puts oxygen in my lungs, I will be helping other people experience success. I will be teaching people and sharing with people the things that I've done to experience some career success and life success, and coaching and training other people to help them become the best version of themselves, and helping leaders understand how to treat people so that they can build trust and rapport from their people and get the best results possible.
Amen. Wow. So you guys see why why he's here. He's the expert. And the topic today, personal development is the gateway to your gifts. So a lot of us have gifts out there. We have gifts that we haven't found a way to really expose them, or we haven't made use of those gifts, or we're not sure of ourselves, and so those gifts stay under the bed, under the table, in the dark. We don't put a light on it. So he's here to really, really, zoom into that so that we can look at those the ways that we can get to our gifts. So let me ask you my first question. So I know you said working as a dishwasher, it kind of told you that, okay, this is not where I want to be. So what really shone that light on it and said, okay, I want to go this direction. This is what I would rather do than just be on the bottom of, not that the dishwasher is not an unimportant job. It's still important because every job at every company or in every setting is important. But you know that, okay, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to do more. So what really, zoomed in on that?
Well, one of the things that happened was, so I would go after school to work as a dishwasher. So, and the gentleman who worked there full time, his name is Jim, and he would say to me, "Young man, this is what I do to take care of my family. It's not the life that I want. So I'm encouraging you to go do something different." And I just really took that to heart, and the fact that he was able to, be that vulnerable and tell me, "Hey, I want you to do better. I want you to do more." It really made me think about that, and I thought, you know what? And in the neighborhood I grew up in, I grew up poor, humble beginnings, in a community with high crime and low income, and not very much with regard to expectations. There were a lot of people who worked as dishwashers and janitors and bus drivers and different things. And there's nothing wrong with those occupations. Mm-hmm. We all have to do the best with whatever we have. Yeah. And I respect and I appreciate it every time I see someone doing whatever it takes to take care of their family. So there's nothing wrong with being a dishwasher. Mm-hmm. I just knew that I wanted more and that there was more available to me, and that just helped me understand that that I needed to start the process of expecting more of myself and not to just accept the status quo.
And how did family either help or, sometimes family can be supportive of your journey? Like family, it doesn't necessarily mean your immediate, your wife and kids, but the family around you. How were they in terms of support and being there for you on this journey?
Oh yeah. My family was very supportive. My parents, even though neither of them went to college, they made it very clear to me that I was going to college. And my brother, he actually went to the military, and I love my brother. I look up to my brother. He protected me when I was a young kid, and he went off to the military, and he found his way and wound up having a great career in the military and then in law enforcement afterwards. But my parents told me, because I thought about military as well, and I can tell you today the one career regret that I have is that I did not get a chance to go serve my country. I wish I would have gotten a chance when I was younger. And my parents told me, though, your brother's gone to the military, you're going to college. He's 4 years older than me. And so, they were very supportive. Yeah. And it was almost like, you're going to college. But the problem was that we did not have the funds for them to send me to college. So the only way I was going to go to college was through sports or academics. And let me tell you, academics was not going to make it happen. Not because I wasn't smart enough or bright enough, but I didn't apply myself. I was an athlete. I didn't start out as a good athlete, but through coaching, training, and personal development, I learned that if you focus on anything, you can get good at it. I believe personal development is almost a mathematical equation. If you put in extra time, if you put in extra effort and thought, you will advance faster than other people. So if you just get focused and do that, you will be able to get as good as you want in most things. So that helped me to advance. And so I decided to go to play basketball. And I was fortunate enough to get to earn a scholarship to play basketball, and basketball paid my
Well,
education.
you're gifted with the height.
Yeah, I do have the height. That is a gift. And but there were still some challenges along the way. After going to camps and putting in the extra time, I became a pretty decent basketball player. I was made all city honors and honorable mention all state, different things of that nature. And I was on my way to Division I school, and towards the end of my senior year, I had an accident in the game where I broke both of my wrists at the same time.
Wow.
And as a result of that, the D1 Division I schools backed off totally.
Yeah. Wow.
So at that moment, I went from thinking I was, about to live my dream and go play Division I basketball to I didn't know if I was even going to get to go to college, because without that scholarship, I couldn't go. I couldn't pay for it.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, so, once again, it took that coaching and mentorship, because I felt like my life was over. Everything that I had worked so hard for, that it was gone. And, I supported my family and friends to, help me get through my rehabilitation, build strength back up in my arms and wrists. I did get a scholarship offer to a smaller school, a community college. So I got my education paid for. And, because of, not giving up, doing what I need to do to get myself back in a position where I could continue to play basketball, I got that scholarship. That led to a 4-year scholarship, an additional scholarship afterwards, which completed my entire degree, which allowed me to get a job at a Fortune 500 company and get to where I am today. So it didn't come easy. There were obstacles that could have prevented me from accomplishing what I've accomplished so far, but through faith, faith in God, and through determination to keep moving forward despite the obstacles that will always show up. I made it through it, and here I am today.
Wow. What a story. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I'm getting to know more and more about Mr. Shaw. For those who don't know, I met him through his daughter. His daughter worked with me, she still kind of works with me in a way. And we met, and her demeanor, I just fell in love with her demeanor, just calm, just like you see her dad here. I haven't met Mom, so I don't know if Mom is calm too, but just how calm he is. And I was just drawn to her, and we're always talking to her, and that's how I got to meet Keith. So there are people who get put in your path for a reason. When we're just living life, you come across people who just you feel like you're in alignment with them in whatever way. You might not be at the same level as them, but there's certain things that just lighten up your day and make you feel like, okay, I connect with this person. And I think you and I have that connection from the first day we talked, because this is the first time I'm actually seeing him in person. So, but I'm grateful for that, because, the audience here, the viewers are going to learn from you, and I'm sure people will leave here with something valuable, even the young people, because, we're not just talking to adults here, we're talking to the young people. So speak to young people right now specifically, because I have a couple of them in my house. They need to hear from someone else, not my voice. They've heard it too many times. You went through adversity. I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing this story. And so what kept you going? Because most kids at that age would have just curled up in a ball, gone into depression, given up, and just said, okay, this is it. It's over. I can't do anything else, and just not gone. But look at where you were and where you are today. What kept you going?
Yeah, I think there's a combination of things. There's, family support. I had friends and family that supported me through that. The people in the community, came and just kept my spirits up. Because, like I said, in the eyes of a 17-year-old kid who was planning big things for their lives, I never really had plans to go to the NBA. I just had plans to get my school paid for so that I could get a degree and go make a good living. But still, my life would not be the same based on, based on that injury.
Yeah.
And having people to support me was the primary thing. That's one of the major things I'd say. And then faith. My mother was very faithful, God-fearing woman, and she made sure that I was and am as well.
Yeah.
God rest her soul. But just faith that God didn't bring me here, to this point to leave me, and that having that faith is enough sometimes to push you through. Your reasons change as you get older. When I was 17, my reasons were not the best reasons. I was doing what I was doing because I wanted to have a nice car and attract other attractive ladies and people, and so that was my motivation back then. As I have grown, my family. That's my motivation. That's why I do what I do. I continue to work as hard today as I did at any point in my life, because I believe that, as the Bible says, a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children.
Yes.
And I'm not here just to win it for me. I'm here to win it for my children's children as well.
Yeah.
And that gives me the determination to push through any obstacle that gets in front of me.
Yeah. And we've talked about, inheritance and, legacy. When we did our interview, we talked about legacy, about, because that's something in our Black community that people don't think about. People don't think past, Saturday or next week or, the next year. They don't plan. But you thinking already about grandkids, whether they're here or not. Yeah, I don't remember if you have three. Okay.
3 grandchildren.
Yes, talk about family. You have a wife, and how many kids, and the grandkids, how many?
Yeah. And my wife, when she sees this, she's going to talk about me. I'm sorry. I should have started with this. I'm happily married.
I got her. We got each other.
I am happily married. And to my wife, Tamara, I have 4 daughters, ages 26 to 32. I have 3 grandchildren. They are 1, 3, and 5.
You actually know their ages, so kudos to you. Most men
Yes.
don't.
Yeah.
Most men don't know. They have to call from the doctor's office, like, what's the baby's birthday again?
All right, I'm trying to represent for the brothers here. But they are, my reason for everything I do, and I'll keep on pushing and hustling as long as I have oxygen in my lungs.
Amen. Amen. Amazing. So let's talk about gateway to gifts. How did you? Because this is a running theme for you.
Mm-hmm.
Your platform even has that. It's around that theme. Talk about why it is important for people to even make themselves better in order to find that gateway to their gifts. Why is it important?
Yeah, absolutely. Gateway to your gifts is a way to help people understand that they have the power to accomplish whatever they want. Whatever it is you want to get, wherever you want to go, you have the power to do it. And gateway to your gifts is just the way I try to help people realize that personal development is the gateway to your gifts. And over the course of my 30 plus years of working with Fortune 500 leaders, even, I find that a large majority of them have not taken the time to get clear about what it is that what they want for their life or their career. And so part of what I do when I'm coaching and supporting people, whether it's for a company or outside of a company, I also coach individuals who are just looking to help become the best version of themselves. I try to help them get clear about what they want. You see, most people tend to spend more time planning their vacation or planning going to a concert than they do planning what they want for their life and their career. So I help them slow down and stop and say, okay, where are you, number one? Are you happy with where you are? Do you like the person that you've become? And let's identify the answer to that first. And once we know where you are, now let's talk about where you want to be. Where would you like to see yourself in the next 6 months, year, 5 years? And once we've identified those things, now we can start talking about what you need to do to prepare yourself to become the person that you want to be. And creating that plan, helps you move forward and become the best version of yourself. And most people don't take the time to go through that process. Most
We're
people
in a rush.
yeah, there's so much other stuff to
Yes.
do, we just don't take time to do it. And through the coaching and through the mentorship that I received from people in my network and in my family, that helped me start that process earlier than most. And then I started realizing that, hey, most people aren't doing this, and I was experiencing the success as a result of that, and I still experience it today. The reason that I have my real estate business is because of personal development. I didn't know squat about how to buy a house at an auction. I didn't know how to rehab a house. I didn't know how to find renters for the house and create lease agreements and stuff. I knew none of it, but I knew that I could learn it. And so first thing is to decide what you want and then go spend the time to go figure out how to do it. I like to say, and I actually got this from Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, he was asked once, why is it that you're such a great player? And he talked about his growth as a basketball player, and he actually applied a personal development concept. He said, I see it as a mathematical equation. We all go to basketball practice the same number of hours. If that is the case, all things being the same, we are all going to advance at the same level. Well, I go more before practice. I go after practice. Then I go identify where I need to improve on something else. Now I've got more hours at it. I'm going to advance faster. And he says it's just a mathematical equation, and that he puts in more time. He works harder than others at what he wants, and that's why he gets there faster, and that's why he was one of the best players to ever play the game. And you find the same thing with several other athletes who have special talent, that they actually put the time in, really focused on what it is they wanted and what they wanted to get better at, and they got better faster. Same thing applies to whatever else, whether it's you want to learn how to become a real estate investor, or you want to learn how to invest in the stock market, or you want to learn how to become the best at whatever it is your career is. If you put extra time in, you identify how you can advance your growth faster, then you do that. The other place that I heard that was through a book written by Zig Ziglar.
Okay.
Zig
I
Ziglar
started
wrote a
reading
book.
it. I haven't finished it.
He's got a book called See You at the Top. He published it in 1974. I read it in the 1980s. Well, there were two things that stood out in that book. The first one is that he says that we each should give 1 hour a day to our own growth. Now, that could be learning a new skill. That could be learning more about the job that you have so that you can become better at the job that you do. Just think about that. If nobody else is doing it, if everybody else is coming in 8 to 5 and doing a job and leaving, but you're putting an extra hour in trying to figure out, well, how do I get one more customer to say yes? Or how do I get I'm able to do 2 more parts than everybody else? You're going to set yourself apart, and you're going to be better than everybody else. So that I practiced that pretty much all my life, and I think that's helped me not only build a good portfolio as far as credentials, but it's also helped me develop skills that help me find additional ways to make money and find ways to create careers and businesses that have helped me have some financial success as well. And then the second thing that Zig Ziglar said in that book that stood out for me, he has this very famous concept which says that you can get anything you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And it's all about service. And I've tried to be a servant to people all of my life. And when you help other people, I just believe the universe brings that back to you.
It comes back, yes.
And it's definitely manifested that in my life.
Wow. I mean, I'm just thankful. Thank you, Taylor, for letting me meet your dad. Thank you. I'll be forever grateful. So you have a new mentee. A new mentee here. I'm learning a lot. So you talk about service is important. I mean, and that's what this show is about, community. It's not about me. It's about, teaching people, to give back to the community. no matter how successful you are, you have to think about, giving some of it back because, like you said, it comes back to you. So speak to our community again about, um, that question went away from me right now.
Let me
I'll
ask you
come back
something.
to.
Let me ask you
Yeah,
something.
ask me something. Yeah,
I
while
just,
it's coming back.
I just want to give you your flowers.
Oh.
It's been an honor and a pleasure, and to have an opportunity to meet you. So thank you, Taylor, as well. Man, you just have such a great spirit, and I can tell you have a great heart. And when I just saw you in person for the first
I
time,
know.
we gave each other a big hug like we've been
I
friends
know.
for years because I feel like we both have
Yeah.
that giving and serving
Yeah.
heart, and we really connected. And I just appreciate you having a show where you're, trying to help other people learn things that are going to help them become the best version of themselves and have better lives. And thank you for what you're doing for the community, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my story.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, we do, have to give those flowers while people are here, right? Now, over the casket, where they can't get you off the podium. You're like making a long speech, like, I knew her, she was good. Okay. Yeah, okay. The question I wanted to ask was about streams of income.
Right.
Really go into that a little bit more. Why is it even important? Because, we've been raised to think that you have to have, go to school, get a job, work for somebody for the rest of your life. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There isn't. But why is it important to think about multiple streams of income?
Okay. I'm going to say a couple things about that. Before I go into that part, I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
I feel like entrepreneurship is something that I almost feel cheated because I wish I would have known what I know about entrepreneurship, 30 years ago. I learned about entrepreneurship probably, 15 to 20 years ago, really, where I really understood that it is really how this country is built. And, it's a way that it's something we all should be looking to engage in, how to become an entrepreneur. So, I can talk a little bit about that a little later, but let me go directly to your question. So, me personally, I actually was following, what I believe to be the American dream, which was go to school, get a degree, get a good job, and stack your money, and you save your money, you save your money, you stack your money, and then you retire. About halfway in that journey, I realized that your money sitting in the bank is not fulfilling its obligation.
Yeah.
Your money is sitting in the bank. The bank is giving you next to nothing for it. They're loaning it to somebody else. They're making money, and you're not getting any of that. And I realized
At least you had some money in there.
I can follow a plan. I followed the
Yeah.
plan. Go to work, save your money, stack it. Just keep saving your money. And so, yeah, I was following the plan,
Yeah.
and I was definitely a
Yeah.
blessing to be able to save
Yes.
some money too.
Yes.
So, but I realized that the real key when my life really changed is when I realized that the real key is how to make your money make more money, because and my full-time job was helping me save money so that I could identify ways to invest that money in other things that would make money for me when I wasn't, having to actually be physically
Yeah.
present to do it. So that's where personal development came in there as well. First, with understanding that saving money is not, and it's great, it's a good thing to do. But once you save, you're saving money, you need to take that money and put it to use so that it's working for you. And that took personal development to go do the research to understand that that is actually what you can do to actually bring in multiple streams of income. Because so first is investing. Something people should be thinking about is, how do I invest my money? I have conversations with people all the time. In my role in the aerospace defense and security, I've been a human resources professional, and I've had conversations with people on many occasions that were working for a company that offered 401k and 401k matches, but they weren't in it. And of course, I explained to them, if they offer a 401k, plan and you're not in it, then you're basically giving away money. You know, so I explain how 401k works so that they understand how to invest that. That is an investment that will absolutely pay dividends in the long run, something that people should be in. So learning the value of money, learning how to invest. Another thing, you know, people got to budget their money. A lot of people don't take the time to budget it. I hate doing it myself, but you know, you got to control what you're spending as well as what's going out. But that in itself can help people amass some savings as well. But then identifying what skills that you have that you can utilize as a resource to help others, and then you can actually sell that, you know. And ultimately, I decided, hey, I want my money in the bank to do more for me other than get. At the time, it was like a 0.0025% interest. And I did some research, and entrepreneurship and real estate and sales were the three top things that would help. You know, I did a search for how to become a millionaire, and I searched those were the top three things. So I thought, well, let me try entrepreneurship by real estate. You know, kind of do those two together. And so that's why my brother, you know, he had a rental property. And you know, he and I bought a property together, and we did my first one together, me and him, and so I learned it, you know. So I did the first one, and I thought, okay, I got this. This is not as complicated as I thought. The hardest part was scary because you know you're going to invest a lot of money, and you're afraid, man, I don't want to lose this money, you know. But I did it. And it worked out, and I thought, okay, I got this. I can do this next one on my own. So I went and did it on my own, and everything worked out well. And then after I did one on my own, I realized, hey, if I can do one, I can do 10.
Do it,
So I just, you know, continued to do it myself. So
you cut out the brother?
Well, no, I wouldn't quite say it that way. I was kind of aggressive and ready to go.
And
he
took his time.
Yeah,
different personality.
Yeah, he wasn't interested in growing the business at that time.
And it's not it's not always for everybody, because even when we're talking about entrepreneurship, it's not everyone in the family who will be with that mindset, or even in the community.
Right.
Because at the same time, you need people to do the other roles, because not everyone will be a business owner.
Right.
I've had people on the show who've talked about. I had my CPA on who talked about business owners, and the last show was real estate agents who came on, and some real estate investors. So so it's not for everyone. When we're talking about these things, we're just encouraging people to think outside the box and to think about different ways, but we're not saying that go quit your job today and go try this without So talk with the personal development. You've already mentioned one book. How important is reading books and and really like watching podcasts and things like that? How important is this, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the person, but for me, it's very important. I am more of a podcast kind of guy or audiobook, because I'm driving. I've been driving so much, so I utilize my time. So this is another little tip for you. Utilize your time, even if you're driving. If let's say you got to drive an hour to work every day, well, that's 2 hours you can use towards building a skill that's going to help you either increase your value or make more money. So use that time wisely. For many years, I used that time to listen to some morning show where they're talking about something that didn't add any value to my life. It was funny, and it's okay to do those things sometimes. Some days I do, listen to something. And sometimes I choose to listen to gospel music when I'm driving, but the majority of the time I'm listening to something that's going to give me some knowledge to help me increase my capability. When you increase your capability, you increase your impact. When you increase your impact, you increase your value. And and I'm not saying don't do those other things. I'm not saying don't watch football. I'm not saying don't watch Netflix. But take a little bit of that time and use it to do something that's going to add value to you, that's going to add a skill to you and your life so that you can improve. And if you continue to improve, as your capability grows, so grows your value.
Wow. So how can people reach out to you? Because we'll drop your contact out there, but just shout out your contact, how people can reach out, how they can benefit from this, because they won't get it all from this show. We only have so much time on the show, but how can people reach out?
Yeah, you can reach out to me. My website is www.coachkeithshaw.com. And, there's information there. There's some videos of some different conferences that I've spoken at. And if you go there, you also, there's an opportunity if you want to have a free rapid success coaching call. It's a 15-minute coaching call where we just kind of talk about kind of what you're going through, what your goals are, and I help you put together a plan, as to how to move forward, and that's free. I'll have that conversation with your audience if they go there and request that meeting and schedule it. So that's a good way to get in contact with me, and I'm also going to send to you a link to something that I call Leadership Reimagined Toolkit. It's a personal development toolkit that shares some key behaviors that I've practiced over the course of my life. I call them leadership likability and leadership behaviors that help you build rapport. So there's some behaviors there that are helpful that people can look at and identify how to increase that in their lives, as well as some guidelines on how to create your own personal development plan. So I'll give you the link to that so they can download it and be able to go utilize those resources.
Okay, that's awesome. So I guess, there'll be opportunity. We're going to be reconnecting on a lot of things here because we have like alumni associations. We have, professional organizations like, I'm part of a nurse practitioner organization. Groups like that can benefit from, from your skills and guidance. And so I think we'll be working on quite a few things. I have some visions for the future, and let me get some things set up here. Working on one project now. Once it's active and going, and then we'll get together with some more things. But one of the last questions I wanted to ask you before I open up for us to round up the show here. Talk to people about why it's important to have a mentor.
Yeah, it's a great topic there. I think having a mentor is super important, and I'm going to classify that as a mentor or a coach. And I tell people,
is there a difference?
There is a difference.
Okay.
So a mentor typically is someone who's been through what you've been through. They've actually experienced, some of the things that you're going to be going through. So they can talk to you from their experience to help you determine your pathway. So mentors are usually someone with a like pathway.
Yeah.
A coach can do that as well, but a coach doesn't have to have the experience. A coach is somebody who asks the questions to help you come up with the answers and solutions to your own problems. Because the truth is that each and every one of us has the capability to resolve our own issues, but we don't take the time to think through that. And there's a saying that says, there's a saying that goes, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. And that's why each and every one of us, we're experts at somebody else's problems, but we don't always make the right decisions ourselves. And having a coach allows you to slow down and ask you the questions that make you think through issues so that you're able to make better decisions and come up with solutions on your own. So I believe every single person on this earth should have a coach because it will help. It will help you be more effective. So,
yeah, very important. I ask that because a lot of times people they minimize the reason why they should have a mentor. They want to just go out and do it and be their own person. But that's why we have a community, to guide each other. and we have to benefit from experience and also cough up the money to to pay for that because it's someone's brain power. So
Right,
we
right.
have to keep reminding people how important it is. But was there any question that you were expecting today that I didn't get to? Any
Uh,
topic that we should have touched that you didn't, yeah, that we didn't get to?
I won't say a topic, but there's a subject I wanted to mention. It is disc behavior styles.
Yes, I saw that on your Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So I talked a little bit about, the first thing that we need to do is identify where we are.
Yes.
And so you do that through assessments. So disc behavior style is a great assessment to help you understand your communication style and how you behave in situations. And the great thing about disc is that it not only helps you understand you, it helps you understand how other people think and behave and communicate as well, so that you can adjust your style depending on the person that you're interacting with. And I really believe in DISC, not just because I teach it and because I'm certified in it, because I'm a product of the product. I took it many, many years ago,
Yeah.
and I practiced it, and it's helped me to create great relationships with people at work and my family and people that that I meet. And so it's a tool that has had a significant impact on me, and I try to encourage people to utilize that to help them improve the relationships in their lives as well.
Yeah. Just break down the letters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so DISC, it's a behavior style system. The D stands for dominant or directive. Ds are typically go-getters, results-oriented. They want to make things happen. They like to make decisions. I is influencer. I's talk. They're good at building relationships, and they're very intuitive. And people do business with them because they just like them, because they know how to interact with people. The S is for stability, so or steadiness. That is, I'm an S. I'm one who likes to build teams, very supportive of people, trying to make sure that we collaborate to make things happen together. So that's the S. And then the C is for conscientious or correctness. They're very detail oriented. They want to get things right. And they believe in following the rules. Each and every one of us has one of those as our dominant style. All of us have all of them in us, but one or two of them are our dominant styles, and we do everything based on those characteristics. And when you understand that, you understand why some characteristics, for instance, a C who wants to take the time to get all the data, and an I
They don't
who
get
they don't
along.
want to
They
share
don't.
data, they just want to talk about it, or they automatically bump heads.
Yeah.
Or the D who wants to just get the result, and the S who says, hey, let's get everybody together and let's talk about it and make sure they,
Kumbaya, let's hold hands.
yeah. So the D wants to move fast, and the S wants to make sure everybody's on the same page, and so they bump heads because they're not aligned.
Yeah.
And so that causes conflict amongst all of us every day. And once you learn that it is those styles and it's not the individual, and that if you can just understand that and adjust how you interact with that person based on understanding their style, you can speak to them and you can communicate with them in their style, then it will provide a higher opportunity for the outcome that you want. I always like to, when I'm teaching DISC to a group of people, I always like to first mention Tony Roberts says the quality of your life depends on the quality of your emotions. And your emotions are impacted by the conflicts that you have every day. And if you spend time working to understand how other people communicate and behave so that you can reduce the amount of conflict in your life, you can have a better life. Just that simple. And I love teaching people that, and I really love it when people embrace it and come back and say, wow, man, that changed my relationship and the way that I interact with people. So definitely something, as you start the process of identifying where you are and assessing who you are and what you like and what you don't like, this is a great place to start.
Yeah, I float between an S and a C somewhere in there. I mean,
Yeah,
in
see,
there.
I'm an SC. That's why
Yes,
we connect.
S and
See, there
C.
you go.
Yeah, and I remember when I was in corporate America, still an accountant. They did it, and it actually helped because some people you just thought somebody hated you
Right,
when
right.
they really didn't. It's just because their personality was different from yours. And yeah, it's a good tool. So we'll probably do another show on more personality stuff.
Okay.
So give a shout out now to your people on your platform and just a final words to the community, something you want people to remember from this segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, uh, the first thing that I would say is, well, first I just want to shout out to you. Thank you for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Just the more time we spend together, we just kindred spirits.
Yeah.
We're on the same wave level. To your audience, what I want for them is to get that toolkit, and I'm going to ask you a question. This is to the audience. I want them to ask themselves, do they have a personal development plan? Do they have goals that they set? And are they monitoring that plan and their goals periodically, at least once a month? That's the way to advance every day. That's the way. So that's the way to improve so that you can increase your capability, increase your impact, and increase your value. I think we all want more value. We want to add more value. Because the more value you have, the more in demand you'll be,
Yeah.
the better possibility of getting the compensation that you want. And if you're elevating your skill, at some point you become less dependent on somebody else to employ you. Because if you're elevating yourself and you're developing skills that might allow you to become an entrepreneur, then at that point you take control of your life.
Yeah.
And I want that for your viewers.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I appreciate you so much for being here, taking the time, your patience, and dealing with, technical stuff and being chill through it. It's the S and C in you. But thank you so much, and thank you for spending this time with us. We'll have you back for sure. I'm already, holding that over you.
I would love to come back.
We'll definitely have you back, and maybe future conferences that when we need a keynote speaker, I think we'll benefit from you being there. So thank you, and thank you to the audience so much for watching this show. Make sure you're liking, sharing, inviting people to the channel so they can learn something, one or two things from here. We're here to elevate, to uplift, and to make sure that we're moving to the next level. Thank you again, and until next time, thank you for watching the Saaghe Fogwe podcast.